What on earth could that quack have injected him with?
I suppose challenging her will not do any good. Oh, you're back. Aren't you fast? They seem to know exactly what they want to do just by looking at those two items. How nice of you.
Kate Walker.
Oh,
Kirk! How do you feel?
Not very well, I'm afraid.
This situation can't go on, Kirk. So what can I do to help you get out?
The best thing, Kate Walker, is for you to go alone. And if you really want to help me, once you are outside, go to Valsembor and try to recover my prosthesis from the craftsman. If you bring it back to me, Dr. Zamiatine will put it on, and I will be able to go back to my tribe.
he's not
Can
gonna do
we
that.
trust Dr. Zamiatine? I'm not so sure when I see what this clinic is like.
The man has always been a friend to the Ukols,
What?
and I'm sure he'll be able to help you leave the hospital and find the craftsman in Valsembor.
Okay. I promise to come back as soon as I can with your prosthesis, Kirk. Until then, hang in there.
Thank you, Kate Walker. And may the spirits be with you.
Oh, he's a friend to the U-Calls, aren't he? Isn't he? Okay, if you say so. I hope it's not just blind faith. No. Maybe they do. Believe him. Okay, enough talking. What am I supposed to do now? Okay. Where's your objective? I'm pressing O right now. Come on. Ah! Wrong button! Oh, I got a key anyway, so I can start using it. Do I have to do the puzzle again? Okay, I don't have to. Good. Thanks! Respect for protocol, yep. It's a large painting in here. So all in Russian. Exit. This is the person. What's in the back?
The funicular is out of service until further notice.
I wasn't planning to go in here.
Ah, hello, Miss Walker. How very delightful to see you up and about. Even if I really have to admit that I'm a bit surprised. Our dear Dr. Olga painted a far darker picture of your current state of health.
I don't want to say anything bad about someone you seem to appreciate, Dr. Zamiatine, but quite frankly, Dr. Efimova worries me.
Ah, and why is that?
This is Zamiatine?
She and her associate, Dr. Mangling, put me through a real interrogation.
Oh, Mangling's the top one.
They're also keeping Kirk, the young Ukol, prisoner, attached to his bed. Not to mention the psychological grip she seems to have on everybody here.
Listen to me, Miss Walker. I know that waking up after a prolonged period in a coma is difficult. In such a context, anxiety attacks are very normal. But please, do not project it onto Dr. Olga. I'm not getting any younger, you know, and running this clinic is a very heavy burden. The last few years, Olga has shown she is capable of assisting me. I have every faith in her.
But
The subject is closed, Miss Walker.
Fine.
Please tell me about that pendant you have around your neck. I must admit I noticed it as soon as you walked in.
it belonged to Oscar, a friend who passed away.
I understand, Miss Walker. I myself have borne the weight of grief for decades now. Wearing a token from someone dear to you is a natural thing.
Dr. Zamiatine, I promised Kirk I'd go to the craftsman in Valsembor and bring back his mechanical prosthesis. The poor boy has been waiting for it for ages, so I'd like to try to speed up the process. Would you tell me how to get there?
Now there's a truly noble initiative, Miss Walker. I asked my clockmaker friend Simon Steiner to manufacture the young Yukol's mechanical prosthetic leg. He's a capable craftsman and ingenious. You'll find him in his workshop, near the Valsembor port. I imagine he must almost be finished with his work by now. He makes amazing things. You'll see.
Can you authorize my release so that I can see Dr. Steiner? Unfortunately, I've been told that the clinic is in lockdown.
You will have to ask Dr. Olga, Miss Walker. She signed the current order to lock our establishment down. She's in charge of giving out the passes. This book should answer any of the questions you may have about our Yukol's friends. Farewell and bon voyage, Miss Walker.
Where did you put it?
I get the impression that the Yukols aren't much liked around here.
Indeed. It would seem that most of the inhabitants of Valsembor are now quite hostile towards them. This wasn't the case a while back, you know. When I was young, the migration of the snow ostriches was an event widely welcomed with open arms in Valsembor.
Why the change in attitude?
Our region was actually somewhat devastated 20 years ago. Dramatic events changed the way people viewed the world. The people turned inward on themselves. They are less welcoming. And the fact that the Yukols have been stuck here, next to Lake Valsembor for several weeks, hasn't helped.
Subtitle didn't change.
How many ostrich migrations have you seen?
This is the third one. I'm lucky to have seen so many of them. It's a rare spectacle. Believe me, the great herd of ostriches accompanied by the Yukols, doomed to blindly follow their animals wherever they happen to roam. And they don't care about countries, wars, and borders.
You seem to like the Yukols, Dr. Zamiatine.
They are a fascinating people, you know, and such astonishing medicine infused with shamanism. Without which, no doubt, you would have never arrived in this clinic alive, Miss Walker.
I have to thank them then.
Why did the Yukols ask you to heal Kirk?
On each of their migrations, the Yukol shamans and I have exchanged medical knowledge. Their trance therapy and materia medica have provided astounding results for my patients affected by psychological afflictions. In exchange, I do what I can to take care of those injured that they can't heal using their traditional medicine. Like, that poor boy who lost his leg.
It's really necessary for me to ask Olga's permission to leave? You're the director of this clinic, after all.
Olga is my right-hand woman. I can't keep her uninvolved in current matters, Miss Walker. She is also currently your doctor. You should really talk with her about it. She isn't as evil as you seem to believe. You'll find her in her office, most probably.
Subject is closed. Okay, fine. Moving slowly away, indicating that you don't want to talk about it anymore.
You will find Dr. Olga hard at work in her office, Miss Walker.
Why not have a seat for a bit in the waiting room? It's just near the offices, right behind reception.
I've been waiting for my appointment for hours.
It's lockdown, of course.
I'm here to see my husband. He's been here months and months.
Which one is your husband? The one stuck at the top floor? Where I came from?
At this time of day, Dr. Zamiatine should be available.
Okay.
If it's for a regular checkup, the doctor's offices are behind the reception area.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm looking for Dr. Zamiatine.
He's in his office. You'll find it in the small corridor back there. The first door on your left.
Pretty gloomy clinic. It could do with a bit of human warmth.
It used to be the fortress of the Dukes of Valsembor, the ancient rampart standing against invasions from the east. The inhabitants of Valsembor took refuge here and often escaped the besiegers through mysterious secret passages.
When did it become a clinic?
That was 20 years ago, thanks to Dr. Zamiatine.
Your voice did not match your appearance.
I would like to leave this clinic. Would you mind telling me where the exit is, please?
Behind you.
Well, usually I'd have told you to go over to the other side of the courtyard to take the funicular that goes down to Valsembor. But it seems Dr. Efimova has shut off the entire clinic for security reasons. The funicular has been stopped until further orders.
I see. Thank you for all that information. I'll be going now.
Maybe you should head on back to your room and wait until they say the funicular is fixed and back in service.
I'll think about it. Goodbye.
Don't want to trouble the lady. I want to go! Let me leave! I can.
Ah, that's bad luck. I missed the last funicular. Do you know why Dr. Efimova locked down the clinic?
Mention of a safety measure from what I heard. Apparently 1 or 2 patients were wandering about.
But I've finished work. What can I do until the funicular is running again? I wanted to go to the tavern for lunch. Today's the day when that cute Sarah Steiner is working.
I'm afraid they don't actually need a reason, my friend. You're primed and ready for overtime. And it's good timing. Dr. Mangeling told me he was going to need help upstairs. With a difficult patient.
You're referring to me? Can't go outside of the path. Miss Cussy.
But it's completely crazy. They closed everything down. Just like that.
Just like that, huh?
Trapped.
Okay. Fine, Dr. Olga. I'm gonna have to ask for permission now, don't I?
The American is awake. You must hurry, Colonel.
How is she doing?
Fine, apparently. She is docile for the moment. This may not last too much longer, I'm afraid.
And what about the tribe of nomads?
Just like the past 2 years, Lake Valsembor hasn't frozen over, so the herd can't cross the ice. They're stuck here, And also, their young guide is still in our control. If everything goes as planned, soon the Yukuls will have no choice but to go back home. Especially as I have a plan to speed things up.
The voice of Bro.
Fine.
Midway.
There's also the American detective colonel. He should be arriving soon.
Let him meet with Miss Walker if that's what he wants to do. No point alarming him just yet. But when all is said and done, we're the ones who are handling the young woman's case. No American is going to come here and tell us
The
what
music
to do.
suddenly loud, drowning out the voice. Why is she talking so loudly? Okay, you can move now.
What? Where did she go?
Apparently a secret door. But never mind that. Let's explore the room and see what we have. Nothing interesting. Nothing at all. Computer? Computer! I have received confirmation that the American is subversive. She is hysteric by nature and has gotten into her head to accompany an old lunatic to some imaginary island. On the way, she has caused a great deal of nuisance for the authorities, and above all, has associated herself with those freeloading U-calls. Well, it would also seem that Uncle Sam considers her to be of some importance. This is a good occasion to get rid of her. When I get to Valsembor, my men will arrest her and deliver her to the country's authorities. Until then, take good care of her. Okay. Yesterday. Colonel, I have received the report of the commission concerning clinic management, and with all due respect to our comrade commissars, I believe that putting Zamiatine to one side on my behalf would be an error. He almost never leaves his office anymore, of course, and he delegates all responsibility to me, but his signature is the one appearing at the bottom of every document, even the ones concerning my experiments. I therefore feel that it would be better to let him remain behind his desk. Makes him the perfect strawman. At your service. My name is Nick Cantin, and without bragging, I am acknowledged as the best private detective on the east coast of the USA. I'm contacting you following a telephone conversation you had with my client, the law firm Marson and Lormont. As agreed, I'll be arriving in the next few days to honor the terms of contract you agreed to the firm concerning the extradition of Kate Walker. One point still bothers me, though. Is it true that Miss Walker has to be arrested by some sort of local militia? During the day, I'd like to have a video conference with you to clarify this point and go over the last few practical details concerning my arrival. Regards, the finest private investigator on East Coast. You're bragging yourself! There is more urgent business. Come see me later in the boiler room. We have to take care of those damn nomads. Dr. Efimova, in accordance with your recommendations, I subjected patient number 10, me, to the standard psychiatric interview. Even though at first glance she seemed convincing, the patient nonetheless demonstrated all the symptoms typical of the propensity for anarchy so common in her misguided homeland. Worse, it turns out she subscribes completely to the cause of the U-call nomads. And it is obvious that she intends to continue agitating in our beloved region. I therefore recommend an emergency protocol restricting her movement and interaction with other patients who might be encouraged to agitate for the young nomad. We'll have the mechanical bed calibrated for the patient with this in mind in preparation for your response. Okay, Helmut.
Hello, Miss Efimova. I'm here to see you too.
But I am not her.
Kate Walker. It really is you. What a coincidence. I've been looking for you for weeks.
Mr. Cantin, I presume?
Ah, I see that my reputation precedes me.
Not really.
Miss Efimova must have told you I was coming.
No, I just now learned of your existence, Mr. Cantin. A while ago, my employer in New York informed me that he was going to stick a detective on my back.
I don't like to boast, but I'm the best detective on the East Coast.
You did.
Never a problem with me. I've been asked to bring you back home safe and sound, Miss Walker. I should be in Valsembor in a few hours.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Cantin. I'm sure that finding me hasn't been easy.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I'm afraid this might upset you, but I'm not planning on going back to the United States for the moment, Mr. Cantin.
To be honest, you don't really have a choice. The U.S. Justice Department is looking for you, and I even have an international arrest warrant for you, Miss Walker. Who'd have thought?
The feds are looking for me? But what's the charge? I've done nothing wrong.
Embezzlement! Apparently you took off with a contract for the sale of the Clockwork Toy Factory in Vorarlberg. And you took advantage of the seller's senility. You're even suspected of being responsible for the death of one of them, a Mr. Hans Vorarlberg, the last heir authorized to sign contracts with the company you represented. That's not negligible. You know, Miss Walker.
This is completely ridiculous. And as far as I know, you aren't authorized to represent the Justice Department in this country. You're just a detective. So you'll have to put up with it, Mr. Cantin. I'm not going back to New York with you. So leave me alone.
Wait, Miss Walker. Please be reasonable.
Goodbye, Mr. Cantin.
You're gonna leave the screen open like that. Oh, puzzle now? Wait a minute. Where's my goddamn mouse? Okay, what is this? Okay. What is that? Oh. What is this? Oh. Oh ho. Green, blue. Is that blue? Green, blue, red, red. Oh, come on. There you go. You know, maybe I should talk to Dr. Zamiatine first about the treacherous Dr. Olga. Or the case is closed.
Dr. Zamiatine, excuse me, but I still really need to speak with you.
Of course. What's wrong, Miss Walker?
It's about Olga Efimova.
Miss Walker, I mean...
I promise. I am not making this up. I surprised her in the middle of a discussion with some kind of a policeman, a colonel. They want to keep me here whether I want to stay or not. God only knows why. They also talked about the Ukels. They have some kind of a plan.
That's enough, Miss Walker. I've heard enough.
Please, Doctor. You have to listen to...
Out of the question. My poor girl, with such a terrible degree of paranoia, I should have you accompanied straight back to your room immediately. You're fortunate that I'm sympathetic towards you. But don't go too far. Please.
Say so. You're just glad someone can take over your work, and now you're gonna lose it if you if you admit to the wrongdoing. Apparently, how do I go there? Okay. I have a secret elevator. It's cold. Wow.
Charming.
Yes, charming.
Charming.
Ay, come on.
Charming.
Nothing, nothing. Okay.
Hurry up.
Yes, Dr. Elfimova. I'm doing whatever I can. Get this damn tap open in the end, you'll see. That's it.
Well, that should convince the Yukol scum to strike camp and go back where she came from. Come on, Helmet. Let's not hang about here.
Yes, of course, Dr. Efimova.
Empty gas can. Okay. Guess I'll need that later on.
You've got to be kidding. I have to get rid of this chain. Fast.
Why? Do we need the boat?
This thing is stuck.
What are they? What are these anyway? Oil? They're purposely polluting this area so that the ice on the lake will not freeze over?
Too dangerous without some kind of receptacle underneath. Hydrochloric acid.
Oh, receptacle? You mean this? Just a little? Okay. Oh, I see. Guess I'll have to use the acid on the chains. Simple enough. No! I did.
This thing is stuck.
Yes, come on. Wow, okay. Well, hydrochloric acid is strong, but is it really that strong that can do that very quickly? Wouldn't it take a little bit of time? Syberia, you should lie down on the boat so that you can avoid getting hit by the stalagmites, stalactites.